Welcome to another episode of Riding and Wrenching, the biggest little YouTube channel on the entire interwebs. I am your host, Q the Rider, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you the latest and greatest sound system upgrade that I've done to my 23 CVO Road Glide. And what I've done is I've added Tour Pack speaker pods to my King Tour Pack that's on this bike, and I've added a couple of Hertz speakers, and man, it sounds incredible. So in this video, I'm going to share with you some of the pros and cons of what I've done. I'm going to share with you all the products that I use to install and make this happen. We'll talk about the installation process, some alternatives to the speaker pods that I bought, and I'm also going to share with you all of the upgrades that I've done to this bike since I bought it. All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the pros. The first advantage to doing this is the sound volume. It is so much louder and it's great. And what I found taking this bike up to freeway speeds is that you really don't need anywhere near max volume because it's so much louder. And basically, I think why that is that you have all of the sound coming from the front speakers, where in your typical system, that's where most of your sound is coming from anyway, those speakers blaring right at you. But with a 6-speaker system like what I have, I also have the 2 Tour Pack speakers here that are angled up and pointed at the rider. And that kind of surrounds you in the sound, and it sounds so much better. You can hear everything so much more clear. So the 2 or the fairing speakers along with the Tour Pack speakers as well as the saddlebag speakers, it's an amazing combination. Now another advantage is just the looks. With the King Tour Pack on the CVOs, there's no speakers there, and so there's just a hole and it didn't look great. But having those speaker pods there, it fills in the space and it just looks so much better. And I really like it. And now that I've got the speakers installed in the grills, it's just nicer. Now, I saw someone post in my Facebook group, New Harley CVO, check it out if you're interested. But someone commented that with the stock system, their passenger was complaining that they couldn't hear it. Well, this is the solution to that. Now, there are some downsides to this upgrade that I've done, and I'm going to share that with you as well. And the number one upgrade is cost. It's not cheap. In fact, the Harley Davidson speaker pods are cheaper. I couldn't believe it when I looked it up. Now, the speaker pods that I have on here are from AdvanBlack, and the difference between them, the AdvanBlack speaker pods, you can get those painted to match the bike. The speaker pods that you can get from Harley Davidson are wrapped in vinyl, they're black, and so they're more likely to match your seat. Now, one downside to having the vinyl wrapping on your speaker pods is that if you have custom seats with custom stitching color, your speaker pods aren't going to match. So that might be a reason not to do it. Or if you do it, then you're going to have to spend some money to also get those speaker pods wrapped to match whatever you're doing with your seats. So it just depends on what you want. I decided to go with the AdvanBlack ones just because I wanted to see what it would look like having it match the bike color. And I actually kind of like it. The nice thing about AdvanBlack's color matching is that they do a nice job with it, and it doesn't matter what color your bike is. AdvanBlack has been able to match all of the color schemes that Harley Davidson puts out, including the CVO colors. So check them out on their website, but you can also order them through my Amazon affiliate link, and I'll share that as well in the description of the video. But I like the AdvanBlack. It looks good, so I'm happy with it. Another downside is that if you decide to remove your Tour Pack, you're going to have to disconnect the speakers. Not that big of a deal, because the reality is that on this bike, if I wanted to remove the Tour Pack, I got to disconnect the speakers. So that's not a big deal, but it's something that you need to be aware of. Because prior to adding those speakers, I could just take the Tour Pack off anytime I want it. But personally, I never take my Tour Pack off. I find that I like having the space there. It's a great place to put my helmet or anything else that I might be traveling with. So that's not a big loss for me. And now that I have the speakers connected, I'm also going to add Tour Pack brake lights to it, which will be something else that would need to be disconnected if I chose to do that. But that's just the cost of doing business. Another downside, if you have one of the new bikes with the Rockford Fosgate system, that system can only accommodate 4 speakers. So depending on your current speaker setup, you may or may not be able to do this. So if you're interested in upgrading your system, you may want to reach out to Volunteer Audio, talk to Jay, tell him I sent you. He's a great guy. I really like working with Volunteer Audio. But yeah, just definitely give them a call and talk to them, and they can help you figure out what you would need to do to be able to get your system upgraded. Because the wiring harness that I put on here, that's a Volunteer Audio product. In fact, my sound system was upgraded by Volunteer Audio. Let's talk about the installation process. If you've never done anything like this before, my guess is that it would take you somewhere between 2 to 3 hours. In order to do this upgrade, you're going to have to remove the fairing. You're going to have to remove your gas tank, because that wiring harness is going to run from your amplifier, which is underneath your fairing, all the way to the back of the bike, and it goes underneath the gas tank, because there's a channel which is also referred to as the backbone of the bike, but that channel is where all the wiring harnesses for the bike are currently setting. And so you just add this wiring harness to that, and then you can put the gas tank back on, and now you'll have your plug underneath the seat. So now you just plug the speakers up to that connector and you're good to go, and you should have sound. Now the other thing that you're going to have to do is drill holes into your King Tour Pack for the speaker pods. Not that big of a deal. It's just drilling a hole. I didn't really have an issue with it, but it's just something to be aware of. You can check, I'm going to post a link to a video from Volunteer Audio where they go through the whole process of drilling the holes. It's really easy. It's not that big of a deal. I would say the most challenging part of this installation for me, number one, was removing the gas tank, believe it or not. There is a wiring harness that has to be disconnected, and I think it's for the fuel pump. And that connector is kind of underneath the tank towards the front of the bike. I was not aware it was there. So a little trial and error on that for me. But now that I know it's there, it won't be a big deal if I need to remove the tank again in the future. The other challenge was running that wiring harness, because there's the space underneath the fairing. It's kind of tight, and you have to find that hole that the wiring harness fits through. Once you know where it is and get the plug through there, it's not a big deal at all running the wire to the back of the bike. But it's not a hard project. If you're fairly handy and enjoy working on your bike, you'll probably enjoy this upgrade, because it was kind of fun. The next thing I want to talk about is I'm going to run through all of the upgrades I've done to my bike. It's a pretty good list, even though my bike still looks mostly stock. But I've changed out the windshield. I now have a 10-inch windshield. That's from Harley Davidson. In fact, that's going to be going away soon. I'm going to get one that's a little bit taller, and I'll probably get one smoked out. Next upgrade is the handlebars. These are KST handlebars. They're 12-inch bars. This bike has a 3-inch riser, so a 12-inch bar is going to feel more like a 15 or 16-inch bars. And so it's nice. It's a nice height, and I really like KST bars because they're adjustable. I also have a cup holder from Zero 3D. I've got the quad lock phone mount on this bike. I've got Harley highway pegs, which might be going away as well. My seat is from, it's a Mustang Super Touring seat. Very, very comfortable. I've had to go through a couple of seats before I found the one that was best for me, and I really like this seat, along with the backrest. My sound system, I've already mentioned that, but it was upgraded by Volunteer Audio. My suspension, oh man, what a big difference a Wilbur suspension makes on your bike. The ride quality is so much better, but that's not even my favorite part of it. My favorite part is if my wife wants to ride with me, I don't have to do any suspension adjustments. The suspension self-adjusts, and it's amazing. Absolutely love it. The Tour Pack is Harley Davidson King Tour Pack, so it's made for the CVO. It's got all the CVO emblems on it and all the stripes and everything. It matches the bike really well. I've got an AdvanBlack Tour Pack liner in there, the Harley Davidson luggage rack. And last but not least is I use the Madehawk USB adapter so that I can get wireless Apple CarPlay without having to have a Sena headset. And I really like those things. I don't know, I think they're $25 now on Amazon. I'll provide a link to that. But it's super cool because you really don't know it's there. It doesn't affect you in any way, and it works great. Absolutely works great, and it's very inexpensive. It's probably the best way to get CarPlay on your bike without having to use the helmet. So the last thing I'll talk about in this video, and we'll wrap it up, is my fundraiser for the year. I am raising money for the Fisher's Alzheimer's Research Center, which I believe is in New York. My goal is to raise $10,000 this year, which is going to be a tall task. And it's effectively going to mean all of the proceeds from my YouTube channel are going there. All of the proceeds from my Amazon affiliate links and any other money I make with my YouTube channel is going. And I'm really going to depend on generous people donating like you. And I hope you consider participating with the fundraiser, and it doesn't have to cost you a dime. Just watching my videos helps generate revenue for the channel, and that money is going to go towards the charity. But if you'd like to make a cash donation, I'm going to provide a link in the description of this video, and your cash donation goes directly from you to the charity. And that will give you a receipt. If you decide you want to write it off on your taxes or whatever you want to do, you can make it private. Nobody has to know, but the dollar amount will still add towards my goal of raising at least $10,000. And I'm hoping that that goal ends up being too low. I would appreciate your support. This is Q. I'm riding, I'm wrenching, and I'm out.
The Fisher Center for Alzheimer's Research Foundation is a highly efficient organization making an extraordinary difference in Alzheimer's research. The Fisher Center Lab is headed by Dr. Paul Greengard, Nobel laureate in 2000, for his pioneering work in delineating how neurons communicate with one another in the brain. He and his team of over 50 world-renowned scientists have published over 1,000 major scientific findings, which have made a significant impact internationally on understanding the causes of Alzheimer's disease, which have eluded scientists for over 100 years. Dr. Greengard and his team are determined to defeat Alzheimer's disease. They have greatly accelerated the pace of research through a new technology they developed that is capable of analyzing thousands of brain cells at once, instead of as previously, one at a time. With it, they have identified a protein in the brain, GSAP, which has become the new major target for drug development to inhibit the toxic substances in the brain responsible for the most devastating symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. With this new discovery and the myriad of other projects they are working on currently, they are on the brink of finding a new drug treatment in the not-too-distant future. In order to continue their groundbreaking research, they need funding. And with government resources dwindling, federal funding for Alzheimer's research has significantly decreased. Public support is more critical than ever. Help us protect our families and our memories. Donate today to end Alzheimer's disease.